Reece James banned and fined. Misha Mudryk apparently incredible in training. And people have forgotten about Cristo.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yes, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Look, I got a backlight. Things are coming up Football Therapy on this channel, or coming up Yannick on Football Therapy. That's bad phrasing. I hope nothing's coming up Yannick. Anyway, listen, look at, what do you think? Blue or green? I kind of like green. Red, I mean, that's not much red, but maybe when we lose, we can have that. But I think for the moment, it's between blue or green. I think that green's good, dude. I really do think it's good, but let's keep it blue for the moment because it's a Chelsea channel. Today we're talking about Reece James is fine and banned. We'll talk about some updates from Ben Jacobs on Give Me Sport. And I want to show you some stats about Christopher Nkunku because rival fans have forgotten, well, everyone's forgotten about how good Christopher Nkunku is and what he's going to bring. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that today. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all your support and interactions and just lovely messages. So, thank you for that. You're welcome to like and subscribe. And let's get into it. Right, starting off with The Guardian, we want to talk about what's going on with Reece James. Of course, he was gobbing off a little bit, apparently, at Aston Villa. And he has pleaded guilty, Your Honour. So, let's see what he said. Okay, so The Guardian writes, Chelsea defender Reece James has been fined 90 grand. So probably half a week's wages for him because he actually squeezed into that window to get the big old wages salary before Chelsea changed their wage structure. So it won't be that much for the Chelsea captain, and he's banned for one game after admitting to abusing a match official last month against the Aston Villa when we got defeated. The England fullback was not in the matchday squad because of an injury. It was reported that his behaviour towards the official in the tunnel. After the match, the FA said this, quote, the defender admitted that he used improper, insulting and or abusive words and behaviour towards a match official in the tunnel after the final whistle. An independent regulatory commission imposed these sanctions following a hearing and has written the reasons of published video. Yeah, okay, so basically, things weren't going our way against Aston Villa. Reece James was probably really frustrated that he can't be involved, being Chelsea captain. He's probably, jacked himself up in his head, this is my season. You know, I'm going to lead the team into greatness again. I've won the Champions League with Chelsea. I'm the captain now. Granted, he's not the most sort of eloquent off the pitch or, I don't know, performative, assertive, but he's clearly really does care. When things weren't going for Chelsea, he probably gave a little bit to the ref or the lino in the tunnel, and they reported it, and he's in trouble. Like that. Look, he's going to be banned for one game. That will be Burnley, not the biggest problem in the world. He'll have the full international break to fully, hopefully nothing will break, to fully recover. And so we're not rushing him back in too early. And then, I guess, is this Malo Gusto's last game he's banned for? Or is Malo Gusto back? He was banned for Brighton, Fulham, and one more, yeah. So we'll have every fullback available after the international break, which I guess it means Cucurella will stay on the right, Levi Colwill will stay on the left. We will do a match preview for the final Premier League game before the next international break. I know, international breaks, when are they going to ruddy stop? So there you go. There's that. We'll talk about Nkunku in just a little while. We're going to talk about what Ben Jacobs wrote on GiveMeSport.com. And new story, new colour. Chelsea, 100k a week star, wowing his teammates at Stamford Bridge. Hashtag spoiler, that's Misha Mudryk. But he talks about a few things here, which I'm very interested to learn. So let's hop in together. Mauricio Pochettino will have more say over Chelsea's January transfer business than he had in the summer. He was naturally still involved during the last window, but some plans were already in place before he arrived. This is normal when a club has a plan. By the way, I'm always trying to mention and remind that Pochettino knew about this. He knew they had plans when he was being interviewed. He was aware, he was lucid to the fact how this is what they were doing. And he said it multiple times in the media. So it's not like he came in and sort of, what are you guys doing? This is chaos. He knew it was happening, but he himself has said yes, moving into January and beyond, I will have more say on transfers. So they knew the plan, Project 2030, bring in the South American kids, long-term investment. This is a sort of structural club idea, club plan. He was okay with it. He signed off on it like, yep, that makes sense, no problemo. But now I'm looking at the team. I'm seeing what we can do, what we can't do. And Daddy's got to get a little bit more input, you know? I think he's sort of getting there. The Chelsea manager was aware of the youth-led and collaborative model he was walking into when he joined, and it's not like he had no say. For example, Pochettino is clear he didn't want to try for Neymar or Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, the thing is, guys, I know we finished 12th last season, but we just didn't want to go in for Neymar or Kylian Mbappe. Both of whom, of course, he managed at PSG. Chelsea recruitment team never seriously explored either. Well, Gaffer didn't want him. Pochettino also had his say on Joao Felix, whom he was against signing permanently. Now, we knew about this in the media. We reacted accordingly here on the channel. A few Chelsea fans were upset and disappointed by this because some liked him. He's a great player, Joao. I think he's unique, but I totally endorse the fact how the Gaffer didn't want him. Don't sign him. Pochettino values Premier League experience. Chelsea may need this up front in January, even if they now have a fit Armando Broja and Nico Jackson to go on a scoring run. We've spoken about this in the latest upload, so do feel free to go watch that. We speak about strikers. Chelsea are looking at strikers, and we speak about Broja, Jackson, and Nkunku. We are going to show you some Nkunku stats at the end of this video, so get yourself comfortable, strap yourself in. So that's why 27-year-old Ivan Toney could be an option if Toney leaves next summer. Sources indicate Brentford, God, I've got Brighton PTSD. Just keep talking about Brighton. They want 60 million quid. But if it goes in January, they might require a fee closer to 80 million. Yeah, if you get Toney for 60 million in the summer, that could represent a snip. Because, dude, I know it's boring to keep banging on about the same stuff, but 20 Premier League goals for Brentford. Only behind Harry Kane and that absolute Nordic baby-eating robot Erling Haaland, which is, fine. Let's just remove Haaland because he's like some weird hack that moved his way into the system, and just say he's second behind Harry Kane. For Brentford. So, if you'd managed to get him for 60 million, that would be crazy. But, yeah, I mean, we'll see. Again, go watch the previous upload if you want details on centre-forward fun. Alright then, Victor Osimhen's another Chelsea striker, of course, a striker Chelsea love. Despite his fallout with Napoli over the TikTok, he'd still be surprised if he left in January. I don't think he'd go in January, and he would cost a lot of money. Chelsea can spend big again in January if they wish, having agreed a cash injection from Arrow's management. $500 million have been injected into Chelsea's neck. But outgoings will be important as well. How many players have we got left to sell? Didn't we sell 14 players? Who are we going to sell? Chelsea star who almost left could now stay. This is Mark Cucurella. He could end up staying. Of course, he almost went to United on loan. Pochettino played him against Wimbledon in the League Cup, which kind of scuppered the deal because it cup-tied him, which made me laugh because I forgot about that, which is strange. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of good that he stayed because now he's playing really good at right back. Of course, he had an amazing second half against Brighton, and he was really good in the victory over Fulham in both games he played as right back. No Gusto, no Reece James. We've spoken about this earlier, how, he'll probably continue and keep his place there for Burnley. Ian Maatsen has also needed some minutes for Chelsea, and Chelsea, of course, would like him to sign a new deal. So Maatsen's under 2-year contract now. Like Gallagher, this is why Chelsea hierarchy, they want to sell them, and they agreed a price for Gallagher. Ian Maatsen to go to Burnley. Gallagher, they're like, Pochettino's like, no. I'm playing him. I've given this kid the armband. He loves Chelsea. I don't think, personally, they'll sell Gallagher. But if Maatsen doesn't sign a new deal, they'll try and sell him. Maybe even in January. So I want to talk about Misha Mudryk. Of course, hot topic at the moment. Watching Ousmane Dembele yesterday against Newcastle. What a mental game that was, by the way. Incredible, really. Usman's still to score for PSG, and I was just thinking, well, Ian Maatsen, Misha Mudryk has scored a goal for Chelsea. He's better than Dembele. Or is he? Let's find out. As a final word on Mikhailo Mudryk, who scored his first Chelsea goal against Fulham, of course, as previously reported, Pochettino has tasked the 100k a week star. Apparently it's less than 100k, 94k a week, which is not six figures. With coming out of his shell and integrating him into the squad. Yes, apparently Pochettino's been doing magnificent work, like on an emotional level with Mudryk, which is important. This entails being more vocal in the team and team-orientated. Pochettino confirmed on record in the build-up to the win at Craven Cottage. He's also revealed they've been playing the Crossbar Challenge together. He presented him with his book, didn't he, about Guillaume Balaguer's book about Pochettino. Mudryk has consistently wowed his teammates in training and has a strong personal relationship with both Ben Chilwell and Nico Jackson on and off the field. There's a real feeling his first goal can help him get going quickly, and once that happens, he's well capable of taking the Premier League by storm. Wow. Pochettino relishes the challenge of getting the best out of the Ukrainian, and doing so will give Chelsea the spark they need to push for a Champions League place. Consistently wowing his teammates in training, and people are expecting him to take the Premier League by storm. Lest we forget, I've said it here on the channel before, but hot dog, I'm gonna say it again, Shakhtar Donetsk, they were so adamant this guy is like the third best left forward in the world behind Vinicius and Mbappe. Yesterday Mbappe's showing wasn't overly positive, was it? Look, man, there's this like unique hype behind Mudryk. He's personally driven as well. Like, he's always in the gym. He wants to be the best. He wants to win the Ballon d'Or, but he doesn't assert this confidence like, you know, you don't see this like Cristiano Ronaldo self-belief and ego, do you? And maybe he needs to bring that out a little bit. Some players are like just joyful and super comfortable on the pitch, and they're just really good. Your Lionel Messi's, your Eden Hazard's. Do you know what I mean? Hold on. Basically, I just like to have burgers and have fun on the pitch. Very, very French accent. I can't really do French Belgium rather, not French. What am I saying? Yeah, Mudryk. He's got the capacity to be absolutely incredible, and it's really, really interesting that his teammates can see him in training doing amazing things, and they're like, we just need this in games, and now he's scored the goal. Now he's got that monkey off his back. You know, they're all like, okay, now do the training stuff in the games. I know it's training and training isn't games, but they're training against Premier League players. Like, he's coming up against Levi Colwill, you know, Thiago Silva, etc. You know, he's got to get past Enzo and Caicedo in midfield, and Conor Gallagher just hassling him. So these are the strong tests at Cobham, and he's passing them and making everyone really impressed. Pochettino sees that. He's obviously taken a lot of his time to emotionally try and invest and develop Mudryk because he sees that. And I think that's more to do with what's there rather than a club obligation of, oh, this guy cost us 60 million quid, you know, and it could go up to, well, if it goes up, like I said, if it goes up to 88 million, it means we've won the Premier League and the Champions League, so that's good. But so I think there's a reason. Everyone sees there's something very, very special there indeed, and Pochettino is trying to get it out, and his teammates believe he can do it. This flawless transition with a colour change. I love this. Let me know what you think of the backing colours. All right then, I do want to talk about Christopher Nkunku because amidst this, you know, interesting start to the season for Chelsea, floundering in the bottom half of the table, looking good, but the results not matching the performances, often, you know, terrible finishing, people talking about, you know, you got your Carragher's and your Neville's criticising Chelsea about like how we spent all this money and how, you know, terrible we are in front of goal. People that are often forgetting the caveat of Christopher Nkunku because he is a great goal scorer. He really is. So I've got some images here from X Value. this isn't Nkunku, right? So he's how old is he? He is 25, so he's just about in that sort of new bracket. This it says RB Leipzig here because I'm looking at his previous year because he hasn't played for Chelsea yet. So he's a forward. He's nearly 1.8 meters tall. He's only 68 kilos, which makes me feel rather heavy. As you can see on this touch map here on the right-hand side, he plays everywhere. He obviously is right-footed, so he sort of slightly likes to drift over to the left. But if you look at his performance spider chart, it's offensive. He's very much a finisher of moves, and his passing would dictate that. You don't expect him necessarily to do recoveries and aerials, especially not being massively tall. But yeah, assisting, shooting, and carries are all absolutely up there. Now remember, despite being injured for months last campaign, he won the Golden Boot in the Bundesliga. Granted, it wasn't that many goals because Lewandowski had already left to Barcelona. I think it was like 16 or 17 goals. But despite being out, despite not always playing down the middle, playing more as a sort of auxiliary floating attacker, he did it. He scores goals for France. I said it in yesterday's video. He scored a Champions League hat-trick away at the Etihad. You know, these guys go on to win the treble. Incredible, really. So he's got amazing stats. And check out this as well. This is more of his advanced data from X-Value. He's considered a mobile finisher in terms of when you aggregate what he's good at, and it tells you what kind of profile of player. And in the Premier League, a mobile finisher sounds good to me. He's really good at receiving through balls, so Enzo Fernandez could be feeding him all the time. Really good at dribbles, successful cutbacks as well. So on running, players. As you can see on the bottom right here, non-penalty XG very strong, and expected assists very strong. Now, if you look on the left-hand side, the stats per 90, he's in the 99th percentile, which is at the top 1% for expected goals, and the 98th for non-penalty expected goals. So he actually takes penalties, which makes you think, okay, good, because we don't have an obvious penalty taker right now. Enzo missed one. Obviously you've got people like Nico, but I feel like just getting a penalty taker back like Nkunku would be massive for Chelsea. Really, really strong as well. Chance creation, 92nd percentile for expected assists. Open play assists, 95th percentile. So he's really, really strong goal scorer. Really, really strong creation and assisting. And he's very, very versatile. And that's going to be big for Pochettino because he'll have times when he plays him as a striker, a number 10, he'll move him over to the left so he can move on, Cole Palmer in the middle, so he can move Nico Jackson up front. You need that tactical versatility to positional versatility for a manager like Pochettino, and I just wanted to show you that to you guys because I think he's going to be absolutely huge. And understandably, it's been tough recently, so people aren't thinking about it. Scoring goals is positive, but this guy coming back, and it's better that we're scoring the odd goal now and hopefully continue to do so there won't be immense pressure on him. But it's okay to be excited with Chelsea's highest profile attacker yet to come into the team. I know it's a lame way of identifying it, but there's a reason he's Chelsea's highest rated player on EAFC. I know that's silly nonsense, but it's kind of true as well. Right then, let me know what you think, guys. Thank you for joining me. I can't wait to read the comments down below. If you want to support the content, please do drop a like, subscribe, share the video, why not? Let me know what you think of the lights at the back. I really like it. I think it's kind of fun. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Peace.